If you've ever let self-doubt stifle your creativity or spoil a dream, you might relate to this next story.
It's about a young black designer named Karl Kani who's gone from rags to riches while paving the way for others to follow. He was the first successful black urban designer. And as you're about to see, woven into his company's name is his inspiration.
It's original, something different.
I mean, you wear it and everybody recognizes, hey, you're wearing Karl Kani.
It seems that the whole urban fashion thing is getting the respect that it deserves. I mean, when Karl started, it wasn't anybody else doing it.
Respect. It's not hard for the designer-born Karl Williams to get his share of respect these days, but it wasn't always like that. For years, the now confident Karl wasn't taken so seriously. He was a young black man with a flair for fashion, living in the poverty-stricken borough of Brooklyn.
When I was about 16, because my father used to get his clothes tailor-made, and so I used to go with him to his tailor every time he used to get his clothes made, and that kind of inspired me.
He was inspired to create designs for himself and friends, but turning that pastime into a profession seemed unlikely.
I never thought about being a clothing designer because that's just something that when you was growing up, it was really unheard of for African American to be a clothing designer.
Karl knew the industry had to change, but first he had to change his own mindset. Self-doubt had him asking, Karl, can I make it? Can I really do this? Finding the answer took faith and guts.
So I decided if I want to be part of that game, I have to go to where the big boys are playing at, and that was the Los Angeles Garment District.
Once in L.A., Karl spun that nagging question into a new, more marketable name.
So I kept asking myself, Karl, can I do this? And I was like, Karl, can I? So before I actually came out with it, I kind of tossed it around to some of my friends. I was like, yo, I heard about this new clothing designer in New York called Karl Kani. His jeans is selling really good. What y'all think about that? It's like, yo, that name sound kind of slick. When we first started, a lot of department stores never wanted to carry our product in their store. Now they're looking for young black talent out there to put their stuff into the stores.
Times have changed, in part because hip-hop culture has crossed over racial lines. Karl has gone from sketching and selling his signature style out of the trunk of his car to a glitzy LA showroom spread out over several rooms with 39 staff members and sales offices in 4 cities. He's ever evolving in appeal and product.
It's very diverse. We have a big following with celebrities, whether it be athletes, musicians, a lot of Japanese, Hispanic, so it's a very diverse crowd.
But it sells well.
Very well.
In this business, you always got to be coming up with new, innovative things. Like right now, we're the first fashion clothing company to ever establish ourselves on NBA courts. Right now, we have 15 NBA players wearing our new basketball sneakers on the courts. Somebody look at the pool out.
And following the birth of his son, who carries his name, Karl plans to launch Baby Kani, starting with their tiny little toes.
See his sneakers?
But it's the ladies' line that'll be his biggest challenge.
I think that it's going to be different for us. I think that Baby Kani, I think the people out there want it. Women's is going to be our toughest obstacle, I think, because I've tried it before and I stopped the production on it because I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do at that time.
But having just been named one of the top black-owned companies in the country, combined with a hefty $65 million bottom line, women's wear, he says, is the way to go. Karl Kani clothes are doing so well, they have their own department in some of the larger stores, and you can find his colorful clothes like this jacket here at some of the smaller shops, like this one on Melrose. But come the end of the year, Karl plans to expand. He's opening up a new showroom in New York City's fashion district.
Well, we want to have a corporate showroom. It'll probably have a sporty theme because I think he really likes what's happening with the basketball shoes, and the whole Kani sport line is doing really well.
Karl is headed back to his home a self-made success, having changed the face of fashion while paving the way for others to follow.
I think the success of my company is going to open the doors for a lot of other young designers that's out there trying to come into this business.
Taking control of the fashion industry. Karl Kani, baby.
And if you are interested, you can find Karl's menswear line in most Macy's and other large department stores, and his new children's line is due out this fall.
All right. Well, coming